Hi, this is the Market Dog Queen, and today I want to discuss XNET, XNET, and the alerts that I called this week on the 30th, actually. I alerted an option, a $5 call for XNET with an expiration of January 17, 2020. And here we are, we're looking at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. As you can see, I have it set up like I always do. I took off the time and sales and the level 2 just to make it more simple for you to see what's happening. Now, the reason I alerted this for an option at open on the 30th is because of all the pre-market movement that was going on. So if I were to go right here and blow this up a little bit, we're talking pre-market, okay? We're up in here. It's up in this stuff right up in there. And I really liked what was starting to happen. I noticed that time and sales were starting to kick, that the level 2 was starting to stack up. It started giving me the signs of good things to come. So I pulled it off my scanner, put it off to my list over here on the side, and then I opened up the chart to see what I'm looking at. Now at 6:30, I went ahead, actually before 6:30, I went ahead and pulled up the options chains. Now, you know, they don't get current until the market opens. So I did have to wait for open. So probably right at open or damn near close is when I alerted the $5 call. Now, as you could see, it was about at 464 thereabouts. And with everything that was going on in the time and sales and everything that was going on in level 2 that you can't see right now, all those, and including my TTM squeeze, which you could see coming here into the blues, and also my MACD. Now this is when it starts to, all my indicators are starting to work in unison together. And that's when I start to pay attention. And that's when I want you to start to pay attention. I've got my VWAP involved. I've got my EMA ribbon in the color of a rainbow. Now, I do like it to stay the same. As long as the red stays on the bottom, then you can stay in the trade for as long as it stays that way and doesn't flip. I do like the candles to be above the VWAP. VWAP is the white dotted line. And even when they get further and further away from VWAP, you can see that the trade gets better. All these signals all work in unison together. The purple bands are the Bollinger Bands on the outside. And here we go. We are starting to open up. It's starting to pick up in its volume. Look at the volume bars starting to pick up. Look down here at the MACD, starting to spread open and climb. Everything shows you that you're in a good trade. Let's go ahead and squeeze back out of this. So like I said, I went ahead and alerted a $5 call. And you could see as the day progressed, the candles were above the upper Bollinger Band. It's a great sign. I love that. And it stays well above VWAP. It stays well above your EMA ribbon. You can even stay in this trade. Look at this. And it keeps you in the trade, even with these red candles. Others without Bollinger Bands or without the EMA ribbon or without the VWAP indicators, others would see this red candle and panic. And you didn't have to. You did. There was plenty that did. It all depends on your indicators and how you're using them in unison together. Now, when the volume starts to die down, you can see the volume dying down. You also see that the blue bars go from light blue to dark blue, and they get smaller as volume dies down. And the same with the MACD. It crosses right here. So we've got all these indicators working together, and we're staying in the trade because obviously expiration isn't until January 17th. There's plenty of time to cook or plenty of time to hit your strike. Now, mind you, you've already hit your strike. If the strike was $5, we've already hit it, and we hit it early. We hit it right here, just a little bit after, looks like 7:10 my time, so 10 o'clock a.m. on the East Coast. It did hit strike. It went above strike. You could have sold for gains, and had a good successful trade. Let's go ahead and squeeze back out. What I did like is that the candles and everything stayed above my EMA, and the EMA ribbon never flipped. You can see it right there. The red stayed on the bottom the whole time. This was a very strong signal to me. So I alerted it for an end-of-day play. End-of-day play with an entry of 529. Would have been in here somewheres around that time. You would have held that had you gotten into that one, or you could have held the call option and held on to that. Could have sold for gains, would have been fine. You could have still read all your indicators and let the EMA ribbon keep you in the trade. And look what happened the following day. Boom! It just went bananas. Look at the volume. Look at the candles above the Bollinger Band. Boom, boom, boom. I love this stuff. I love it. I want you to love it too. I want you to see what I see. So just so you know, it hit a high of 567. That call was well in the money had you got in here. Had you got into my end of day trade, which was just a simple swing overnight, you don't use a day trade. You buy it the day before at close or close to it, hold it overnight, and sell for gains the following day. And as you can see, there's your gains right there. I love the TTM squeeze, showing me how beautiful the volume is. Look at the Bollinger Bands just exploding like that. The candles are well above VWAP. But here we go. Here's our sign to get out of the trade. This is where I take it. My first sign is when the TTM goes from the light blue to the dark blue. Pay attention. Anything can happen. It can kind of stagnate right there and kind of go sideways. Right here, you can see people started to sell off. They started to lock in their gains. If you were in the end of day trade, I wanted you to lock in your gains anytime, right up in here, anywhere where you have gains. Lock it in. You didn't use a day trade, and you helped your account grow. As you can see, my MACD was giving good signs as it was exploding first thing yesterday, which was December 31st, 2019. And like I said, here comes our signs. The Bollinger Bands are starting to contract. And here we go. There is where the ribbon flips. As you can see, the ribbon is always where the red is on the bottom, the purple is on the top because of the way I color my rainbow. Here is where the ribbon flips, and you can see the TTM squeeze goes from red to yellow right there. This is your sell signal. This is also a sell signal right at the very top. When you have your TTM go from zippity-doo to down under the red. You see it. Of course, your MACD flipped over itself right there. Any of these can be used or interpreted to be your exit signal. You can use your MACD to tell you to get out of the trade. You weren't wrong. Some sellers right there did use their MACD to get out of the trade. Some sellers used the TTM squeeze to get out of that trade. You see the red candle right there. This is where they use this indicator to get out of the trade. Some traders used this indicator where the red went to the yellow, as you can see right there, these red candles. And as they're kissing the bottom of the Bollinger Band, here's a good signal too. When candles bust below the bottom Bollinger Band, that's a sign of either really bad things to come or a change in direction. It thought about it, and it just went meh. Just meh. Look at the volume. The volume went kind of choppy. It just went eh. I want to tell you right now, if you used VWAP also, VWAP right there, VWAP would have told you to get out of the trade right there. I use all these indicators either separately or together. And just so you know, both of those trades were winners, chicken dinners. And I'll catch you on the next video.